This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm alright. Hey, and this is High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
We've been sharing our lives online for over 10 years, so who better to catch you up on everything that's going viral?
Oh, and we talk a lot about ourselves too.
Coming up on this episode, I jumped in the pool with a pad on.
Brittney gave us quite a bit of period talk today, and
Yeah.
it was quite an interesting talk. I feel like I learnt a little bit.
Yeah. Why is it so embarrassing when we were young to get our period?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Literally, I wouldn't know. Plus, AJ's got some competition, doll. Brittney has a new man in her life. She's been hit on
I've
at
been
the
hit on
Kylie
for the
Minogue.
first time in I don't know how long, and I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
But also feel really bad, and I hope that he doesn't listen or someone he knows.
Deal me in, doll. Let's go. Padzum.
Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning.
We are coming off the back of Kylie weekend.
Yeah.
And we've
Yep.
got a lot to say.
Oh. I mean,
We've got a lot to say.
where do I even start? Or do I not start now and do we keep it for
Close friends, you reckon?
close friends? Or just do
Yeah.
a Kylie-themed close friends?
Okay, let's do that. But I do have one thing that I want to say in this main episode. But if you want to hear about all the antics of us being at Kylie and like the wrap up of Matt's 10 shows.
Oh, I've got so much to say.
We'll keep that for close
Yeah.
friends. So it's just that's
I've
what we're
got
going
a
to
lot
talk about
say that
on
I wasn't
Friday.
able to say on the internet. And we'll keep it for Friday's Close Friends
Okay.
episode. Big Kylie bonanza. But anyway, what do you want to say now?
I got hit on
By who?
a random at Kylie. And I haven't been hit on in a very long time. Like, couldn't tell you the last time I got hit on.
Well, it's hard when you don't leave the house.
True. But, I felt so bad, Matt.
Oh, no.
So
What's happened?
This was on the Saturday night at Kylie. And as you all know, I was really worried that I wasn't going to know all the songs.
And of course, we're sitting front row. So
Yeah.
if she doesn't know the words, it's very obvious because Kylie's giving us lots of eye contact.
Now, I will say, I was actually surprised and knew like a majority of the songs, which is amazing. But we'll save like all our thoughts about the show for Friday's episode.
Mm-hmm.
But before we went, I said to Matt, is there one part in the show where I can go and duck and get us some drinks? And he was like, yes, like this part when she goes out onto the diamond thing. It's like more slower songs or something she does on the diamond.
Yeah, and also it's like, you know, the diamond's at the other end of the stadium or arena. So she's not right in front of us. So if the seat's empty, it doesn't look like she won't notice that you've popped off somewhere. So I was like, she's down the other end. So that's the section where you could go and get a drink. And also it's from an album called Disco, which I don't think you'd be familiar with. She does a lot of songs from there. So
Well, anyway, come to that point, like it's like halfway through the show, right? And Matt's like, okay, the part's coming up where it's after locomotion and then she's going to be on the diamond. So go get the drinks. And I was like, all right. And before we'd gone into the show, we got the 4 drinks in the tray. So I was like, I'll just go get 4 more drinks. And because we'd made 2 friends sitting next to us. So I was like, I'll just get another 4 so that we can all have 1 drink. Perfect. So made my way out of the stadium and to the drinks bar. Okay, as I'm walking up the stairs, because we're like on the floor and you've got to walk up and then out like the flapping doors. And so, this poor...
flapping doors.
Yeah, this poor guy, I don't know, he looked like maybe at least 5 years younger than me. It would have been like when you like run into someone in a movie and it's like you've met your person, like, how you just...
Love at first sight.
Yes!
Vibes. When they're running through the airport and they crash into each other. And
Okay, so I come out of these flapping doors. I've got my red lacy dress on and my silver boots, like looking the part.
Yeah.
And I just come storming out of the doors and it was like we just met, like face to face. And then...
Did you crash into each other?
No, not quite, because I kind of stopped and then we were like kind of ran into each other but walking the same direction because he was heading to the bar as well. And like we'd had quite a few drinks by this point. Matt, so I was just being really friendly. And he's like, hey. I was like, hey. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just coming to grab a few drinks. And he's like, are you enjoying the show? And I'm like, yeah. He said, who you here with? And I said like, oh, my friend, and we've made 2 more friends. And he's like, oh, nice, I'm here with my sister. And I was like, oh, cool. And then we got to the line and I stood in front of him, and then he's like, oh my God, the boots. He's like, you look amazing. And then this was when I was like, oh no, he's hitting on me. And he's like, I didn't even see the boots. And he's like, were you planning on showing up and like looking better than everyone here? And I was literally like, I was pretty pissed, and I was like, stop, like just laughing and saying, thank you, that's so nice. Like I was not
like engaging, but not encouraging.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank you, that's so nice. But no, like, thank you, you don't have to say that kind of thing. Mind you, I'm like trying to give off like I'm not interested. I'm not going to be rude.
Yeah. And also you're loving it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I'm like,
Because
oh,
like you haven't been hit on in a while, so you're like,
Yeah.
well, I'll kind of play the part.
Yeah, and then bless. And so then it was my turn to order the drinks, and I said, can I have 4 of the $16.90 seltzers? What the actual fuck, by the way? But anyway, we'll keep that for close friends.
Yeah,
If you
next-
saw it on my story, the drinks were $16.90 each. I said, I'd just get 4, please. And they say, oh, you can only get 2 per person. And I was like, oh, like I got 4 earlier. And they said, oh, once the show starts, it's only
Okay.
2 per person. And then I'm like, I was thinking of the 3 of you back then. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just get 2. And then we'll just like share.
Yeah.
And then he could hear because he's like right behind me. And he's like, I'll get you another one. And I'm like, no, you get yours for you and your sister. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll just get one for my sister and you can have this other one. And I'm like, no, it's really fine. Like, I'll just get 2. But I was like trying to be friendly. Like, no, it's all good. It's all good. You get it for you and your sister. And then like, because there was so many bar staff, then he was next to me ordering already, and he'd ordered the 2 and I'd ordered mine. And then like we got given our 2 drinks each at the same time. And then like I grabbed my 2 and was walking away from the bar. And I'm like, no, you don't have to give me that. Like, it's all good, thank you. He's like, please take it. Like, you have the third one. I'm like, no, it's all good. And he's like, shove the drink onto me. And he's like, just give me your number and let me take you out for dinner. And I'm like, no, it's so fine. Like, and I was just trying to be so nice because I was feeling so bad. And then I just said, like, I'm so sorry, I'm in a long-term relationship. And the look on his face, like, it was instant. Like, I'd shut him down so badly. And I'm like, please have the drink back. Like, I didn't want to take the drink from him. And he, like, was so embarrassed. And he just, like, basically ran away in the other direction.
Oh, the poor bloody thing. And, you know, in this day and age, it would be hard to make a connection like that in real life. I feel bad for
I know,
him.
and it would have been imagine if I was single and interested, that would have been the perfect way to meet someone where you just like crash into each
Yeah.
other like as you're walking out the doors. I felt so bad. And he literally he turned and walked in the opposite, like didn't say bye. And like he was meant to be going the same way as me.
No, I feel bad.
And then here I am with my 3 drinks. I'm like, oh, well, I got fucking a free drink. I felt terrible. That was $16.90.
Oh.
And then I came back to all you guys. I'm like, I got 3. But I felt so bad.
Oh, my goodness.
So that's my one story that I wanted to share today. Look, it did
Nice.
feel good to get hit on because that doesn't happen. Do people not hit on people anymore?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's risky, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like, and especially in this day and age of your Tinders and your whatnot.
Yeah.
Maybe people have been accustomed to that. I don't know. I think he really went above and beyond and out of his way, and you've just
I
ruined his
know,
life.
I felt so bad.
He probably just kept walking right out to the car and drove himself home.
He just abandons his sister. Sorry, I got rejected. I felt so bad because I was trying to give off the vibes the whole time that he was complimenting me. Like, oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Like, not in a flirty way. Oh, bless.
And then it took you so long to get back to the seat, by the way.
Yeah, just because, like, I had to walk all the way around because I came
I
to...
saw you come down the
and then
stairs.
the security
and then it was
guard
like
told me, no, you have to go all the way around the other side. That's why it took me so long.
Okay.
Anyway, got there in the end, got the drinks.
Nice.
And that was
Nice.
that. But we'll save all the rest of the Kylie goss for Friday.
I know, yeah, we will. Oh, but we won't talk about this on Friday. We could talk about this now. Like, it was really fun to be with you and to be getting ready for the concert. Like, how good is just
We
like
had so much
getting
fun at the
ready.
hotel.
Yeah.
And then like a few of our friends came and it was
Yeah.
a whole group and we were ordering room service before the show.
I love it. We had a good playlist on.
Yes.
Yes. We were playing all the old bangers.
Yeah. And then we said we need to talk about this on the pod. So the songs that we were all going out of our way to find were artists that were ahead of their time.
Yes.
Because there's a lot.
Because we think Kylie was ahead of her time.
Yes,
like some of her bangers. And that's how
100%.
it started. It's like we were playing some of those and then we were like, wow, she was really ahead of her time. And then we were like, who else was ahead of their time?
Well, my song was Rumours by Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, which did you know the fact that I told you about that?
I didn't know it, but you did tell me.
So basically, for those who don't know, the song Rumours by Lindsay Lohan, apparently she released that song because at the time, Lindsay Lohan was like the hottest thing in the media and there were so many rumours about her life. So if you like Googled Lindsay Lohan Rumours, then her song would come up as opposed to all of these crazy rumours that
so smart.
media was writing about her. And instead of, all of those coming up as a search result, her song would come up instead. I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know how legit that is, but it's pretty smart and it sounds like it could be true.
Well, I feel like that song, if you haven't heard it in a while or if you've never heard it, blast it in your car. Like, why don't they make songs like that anymore? If some pop star come out with a song like Rumours, I would be all over it.
I think we're regressing though. As I said,
True.
I predicted this 2 years ago on this podcast. I don't know if we had the podcast 2 years ago, but I remember being like that era, especially more the 2010s though, which was a little later than Rumours. We're regressing. Even Lady Gaga's new song Abracadabra, that's skewing a little bit.
It is.
Because I'm loving the new term that the internet has coined, reheating nachos. Have you seen that?
No.
Like they like Abracadabra is just Lady Gaga reheating nachos. It's like the stuff she's already done, but she's reheated it. So it's like the same but different and it works. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the music coming out lately is reminding me again of that time. And I, for one, love it because that's like the best era of music for me. It would be like if we had like an 80s resurgence and all our parents were like, oh, this is the music we used to listen to back in the day. Like, I feel like that's me. I'm like a millennial who's just like, yes, give me the good music. But who else did we say? Sophie Ellis-Bextor was one.
Ahead of her time.
Hilary Duff.
Billie Piper.
Yeah, who I'm not familiar with.
What?
Don't know that. Her.
Who sung AM to PM? Everybody
Justice
looking
Crew?
like stars.
Oh.
All the chicks and the fellas in the bars.
Oh.
Ava? Maya. MYA. AM to PM. Good song.
Yeah, there were some real good
We said
bangers on
Mandy
there.
Moore.
Yeah, Candy.
Candy, ahead of her time.
Yeah, but don't you think Addison Rae actually is a Mandy Moore equivalent to me? Like that kind of sound. She's
Yeah.
a very Mandy Moore sound. See, that's even a regression as well.
I
Sometimes
feel like it's Mandy Moore, but like 2025.
5 version, of course, yeah. But yeah, Addison Rae gives me that Mandy Moore kind of sound as well. Anyway, and Tate McRae, someone compared her to Timbaland. And I went, yes! Like the Timbaland sound, obviously, not Timbaland himself.
By the way, speaking of
But, you know.
random artists, I don't know if it's been all over your TikTok as well. Pitbull.
Yes! How good does Pitbull, for those who don't know, Pitbull currently has just started his like tour and it looks so good. I am begging for him to come to Australia. Do you want to know?
And everyone in the audience is wearing a bald cap and a tuxedo.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I want to go and dress up as Pitbull.
Do you want to know a really funny story? I won tickets to back in, I want to say 2013 to 2015 kind of era. Kesha and Pitbull announced an Australian tour together, and you could see both of them at a concert, and it was at Kudos Bank Arena. I think that was Acer Arena at the time. I won tickets on Nova to go to the concert. I rang through it it was Smallsy's surgery, I'm pretty sure. Smallsy's been doing it since around then, right? Like he would have been doing it around 2015, 2013, I want to say. I don't know. It was Smallsy's surgery. I rang Smallsy. And I got through and I won tickets. No, actually, it wasn't me. I was with my friend and she rang, but I was in the car because I was too nervous. And we were listening to Nova. And then anyway, we won tickets. Well, I don't think they sold many tickets because it got cancelled not long after and I never got my tickets. And I remember being like, well, I feel gypped. Nova should give me some sort of compensation because I'm not getting the tickets. So give me a hamper or something. But never heard anything from him ever
Damn.
again until
Well,
this podcast.
I am hoping and praying that Pitbull
I
comes
know,
to Australia.
yeah, I'll be there.
Because the crowd looks like they've been going wild for him.
Yeah.
Like, where is he even touring? Is it America or like Europe somewhere?
I'm not sure.
But UK, everyone is dressed up as him. And I just think the Australians would go nuts.
Oh, absolutely.
They'd go feral for that.
And you forget how many good songs he has.
But like, does Pitbull even sing?
No, he's more of a rapper, really.
Or like he talks?
Yeah.
What an icon.
Which is kind of amazing.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
it's
he's got so many bangers, but he just took my life from negative to positive. I just want you to know that.
It's like...
Like he doesn't actually sing notes.
Yeah. Picture that with a Kodak.
Better yet, go to Times Square. Take a picture of me with the Kodak. He rhymed Kodak with Kodak.
Like, if Pitbull can be Pitbull, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Please be upstanding for the royal flush.
Let's get on to our royal flush of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I've got just a little one, and actually, it's called Flush.
Oh! What? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
Now, look, I probably should have fact-checked.
Fact-checked. Should have fact-checked this.
Fact-checked it.
Also, Hannah, just to butt in here, because, you know, like it's been a long couple weeks, I do have to ask, is the fucking pie machine back here at Nova yet? It's not! Oh, for those who don't know, the renovations have been taking place here at Nova. It looks amazing, but because they were renovations, they don't have the pie warmer, and I haven't had my meat pies, my Gallows pies in weeks. Anyway, what's your royal flush, Brittney?
Okay, so I saw a TikTok, and I've just checked that it is on the App Store, and it is. You've probably heard of it. There's an app, like a mobile app on the App Store called Flush, Toilet Finder and Map.
What?
And basically, it's like Google Maps, and it's got all of the public toilets that you could ever need to know about. So no matter where you are, you can download this app, and it will show you all the public toilets near you. It'll say like whether they're one that you have to pay for or whatever. Do we have many of those here? I don't know.
More of a UK thing, I think. But it might be like customers only vibe.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Which, go away with that.
paying
Let
for a
me
toilet.
use the toilet.
I know.
And also, like, if I'm busting, let me use the toilet, and then I'm happy to come and buy a drink. But I'm not buying a drink first. I'm going to wet me pants, love, you know?
Flush Toilet Finder is the quickest, simplest way of finding a public bathroom or restroom. Simply open the app and it will display the nearest toilets to you. It's free, no in-app purchases, and has over 200,000 bathrooms in its database. And you know what? I think people that suffer with a bit of toilet issues could really benefit from this, especially if you're traveling or you don't know, where you are. Sometimes you just find yourself in a scenario like, where the fuck is a bathroom?
Yeah.
Download this app.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this reminds me of a story. It's only a little one. I'll never forget. You know how you have some memories in high school that you'll never forget? I will never forget being in year 7 when we had to do French. And like, did you have to do French in year 7?
No, I did Japanese.
Oh, yeah. We did French. And my French teacher, she was known like to not be the nicest. Like, you know how you just have those teachers that everyone knows, like, they're not nice. And I remember I was in year 7 and I was new to having my period. Like, I'm pretty sure I got my period in year 7. And when you're like a young girl and going through your period for the first time, it's like daunting as fuck when you get your period and you're like learning how to use a pad and like all this shit. And I remember I had my period and I was in French class, and this is like TMI for you, Matt, but like when you got your period, you can kind of tell when it's overflowing. Like you can just feel that it's like overflowing into your undies kind of thing. And then before you know it, if you're sitting down, it's going to be on the back of your skirt. And this mean, nasty fucking teacher, I even remember her name, but I don't want to say it.
No, I say it with your whole chest.
Mrs. Spate. That was her name. No, that's so mean. Anyway, she won't fucking listen to this.
Who cares?
I remember putting my hand up saying like, can I please go to the toilet, miss? And remember when teachers were like, no.
Yeah, which I think is so fucked. Like, in fact, earlier when we were talking about the toilet situation and going into, a cafe and whatnot,
Yeah.
I actually think it should be illegal to refuse someone to use the bathroom, whether they're a customer or not. I
Yeah.
think literally, I think it's just crazy that you can deny someone
Just going to
the
the bathroom.
use of the bathroom.
Yeah.
If you got Crohn's disease, I think it is, you actually can get a card that
Oh,
says
yeah.
you must let me use the bathroom. I have
Yeah.
Crohn's disease, which I feel like I need one for me without a gallbladder, because there are some times that I'm like, oh shit, here we go, love.
Yeah.
And so I need to download this Flush app.
You
But
do.
I think Mrs. Spate should.
I think that was her name anyway, I'm pretty
should
sure. Well,
I think she should get in trouble for not allowing students to go to. And at the end of the day, if because why do they say no? They say no because
they don't want kids to go and waste time. And I
muck up.
understand it from that, but I'm
But
sitting
also,
there.
who gives a fuck if the kids waste time? You're still getting paid the same, doll.
And so I remember her saying, no, you have to wait until lunch or whatever. And
That's
I
crazy.
know that the blood is seeping onto my undies, and I know I'm about to be extremely embarrassed because it's going to be on my skirt, and it's probably the second or third time I've ever had my period. So I'm fucking freaking out. And I was like, please, miss. And I was trying to give her eyes to be like, I've got my fucking period.
Yeah.
But the class was quiet.
Yeah.
Doing reading time or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, please, going like this to her. And she was like, no. And so I just grabbed my bag because I needed the pads, and I just ran out of the class and down the hall, and she chased me down the hall. She
No.
chased me to say, where are you going, blah, blah, blah. And I just ran to the toilets as quickly as I could, sorted myself out, avoided that emergency, and then I got in trouble, and I think I had to go and speak to the head teacher.
Did you explain to the head teacher what was going on?
I must have, yeah, surely.
Like-
Or maybe I was too embarrassed because when you're a
Yeah,
girl
I know,
and
that's
you've
the
got your first
thing.
period, it's so,
Yeah.
I'd say it now, I don't give a fuck, I got my period, but when you just have your period, it's so embarrassing
Yeah.
and you don't want to tell anyone. And so I don't know if I ever ended up saying, but I just remember her chasing me and me being mortified, and I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
Let the kids go to the toilet.
Isn't it weird that periods are so
Taboo.
embarrassing
Yeah.
and
It's so embarrassing
where
when
does
you're
that come from? Because
don't
it's
know.
It's surely, because I mean, obviously I didn't go through the experience, but I can't imagine it's why is it so shameful? Where does the shame come from? Because I can't imagine parents, mothers are going to their daughters, oh, now we've got to talk about periods and
Yeah.
don't let anyone know that you've got your
I don't know where
period.
the
That's
shame
not
comes
happening.
from. I don't know. And I remember when I first got
weird.
my period, and I would have been 12 because I was a year young for year 7. And I remember when I got it, and my mum, when I told her, because I was on the toilet and it kind of happened, she was so excited. It was an exciting time as a mum. I don't know. And she went and she called all her friends and told them. And I was
That's right.
like,
You've said
Mum,
that before.
that's so embarrassing. But why is
But
it
why
embarrassing?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And I've got another period story too.
Oh, well, we may as well. We're already knee deep. So come
One
on.
time, again, so everyone's different, but usually when you start your period, you start with pads and then you'll eventually learn to use tampons.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd had it for, I don't know how many years, a couple of years or whatever. And then I decided to learn how to use a tampon, and then I started using tampons. So it's different in different countries, but in Australia, your tampons, the string, when you open it, the string is all shoved up inside the tampon. You have to pull the string down, then put the tampon in. Well, one morning I was in a rush getting ready for school, and I put the tampon in, but I didn't pull the string down. So I just put the tampon up, and then there was no string hanging out. And then I realized, and I went into a massive panic. And again, I was young, so I was so embarrassed that I'd done this, and I was I've lost the tampon. And then I remember it was a morning, and I had a stepdad at the time, and him and mum was sitting on the back deck, having a coffee, and I went out to mum, and I'm panicking, and then I'm crying, and I'm like, Mum, I've lost
You're
my
the tampon's going to be in me forever.
Yeah, and I was bawling my eyes out. And mum, do you want me to come and help you try and get it out? And I'm like, no. She's like, all right, we'll get in there and get 2 fingers and try and get it. And I eventually found it, but it's just mortifying. When you're a young girl, I don't know, it's just
Yeah, I
it's
wonder where that
embarrassing
comes
and
from.
mortifying and yeah.
I wonder
don't
how
know.
it's just instilled in you.
In society.
and
Were you the same,
that's
Hannah? Were you embarrassed about getting your period and having your period?
I have a story.
Okay, tell
come
us.
on, tell us a story.
I jumped in the pool with a pad on once. It was like, what happened? In my
Clothes
pants.
on.
Yeah, we were just jumping in with our clothes on and I forgot.
So if you go in the pool, is that more a tampon situation? Like-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You wouldn't wear a pad because it'll blow up like a fucking
Yeah,
nappy.
okay, there you go.
No, I remember we used to go on like beach holidays.
Yeah.
And of course I like got my period like the first day of the fucking week that we were on holidays.
Oh no, I hate getting
And-
on school camp and then you have to have your pads.
The
like,
worst.
yeah.
And my parents were like, we're going to do this day trip out to this beach and we'll be there all day. And I was like, no, like I'm not coming. And then I eventually told my mum, told her why I didn't want to go. And she's like, okay. And then she told all the other mums in the group.
Nah.
And they told the kids who I was like friends with.
No.
So next minute I have a guy who I was friends with and he goes, Hannah, I heard you've got your period. Like how much?
Maybe this is where the shame comes
much
from. Like
Men.
everyone. Yeah.
And he's like, how much blood comes out? Is it like a teaspoon or a tablespoon? And I was like, who told you?
Yeah,
and I
it's so
started
embarrassing.
crying, and I was so upset that my mum had like told his mum, and all I could think about was like them all talking about me.
Yeah, I think that's where the shame comes from. And also, like, I remember so specifically
horrible.
not wanting to go to sleepovers, not wanting to go to school camp. Like, because if you're going to have it, it's just like this whole.
School camp was my biggest fear.
Yeah,
because
I
of
had
that
it
reason.
on school camp one time too. And then I didn't do
Really?
like the rock
canoeing.
climbing. Yeah, the canoeing because you didn't want to jump in. And like, you didn't want to do, you know how you used to do sport at school and you'd have to do swimming? I don't know if you guys had to do swimming, but we would go to like the Newcastle Ocean Baths to do swimming for PE and then having to get my mum to write a note to say Brittney can't swim today because she has her period.
Okay.
And because if you're not using tampons, like you can't swim.
Yeah.
And then me being so embarrassed about that, like there's just so much. I hope it's different now for younger people who are getting their period.
I don't reckon it is. I reckon they'd still feel the same way.
But
I mean,
it's-
I've got no idea,
It's
but I
fucked.
just...
Like having to take a note and give it to the male PE teacher. You know, it's so, I don't know why it's embarrassing, but it is.
Yeah.
But when you're older, couldn't care less. But yeah, it's really interesting.
I couldn't be a teacher. Because if a student came up to me and I'd taken them to Newcastle Ocean Bars to do swimming and I was like, oh, everybody get in the water.
in the freezing fucking
if
water.
one of the kids said to me, I'm not getting in today. They don't have a note from their parents. They haven't told me they're on their period. If someone goes, I'm not getting in the water, I'd go, fair enough, mate.
yeah.
You don't have to do you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you don't consent to getting in the water, I'm not going to force you in the water, Joe.
But
That's
the teachers,
fine.
I
Sit
swear,
this
would be
one
like,
out.
get in.
I know.
Do 50 metres underwater.
Isn't that crazy? Like when you actually think about it, the lack of consent from teachers
I know.
is alarming back in the day now that I think about it. Anyway.
So yeah, Mrs. Spate, if you're out there, if anyone knows, I remember when you made me feel
You've
so
traumatised
embarrassed
Brittney
from
for
having my
life.
period and I couldn't tell you because the whole class would hear and you chased me and I got in
Yeah.
trouble and
Do
all
you
I want
know-
to do was change my fucking pad.
But do you know what I mean? It's like, what would be the problem with just going, sure, go?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Even if you were going to go and graffiti on the walls, fucking
Wet
someone
toilet paper
will
and throw it on
you
the
know-
roof.
You know what I mean? Even if you were just going to play silly buggers, like, who cares, Mrs. Spock? I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? What was her name? Speck. Spack? Spunk.
Space.
Spunk? Spate. Okay, sorry. Well, you know what?
Mrs. Spock.
I'm doing my best, all right, and that's all that matters. Oh. Well, that was a nice little segment,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And I
It was
will,
fun.
I just have to say I had some really good teachers too. So love them.
Yeah.
We all had good and bad.
Majority of teachers were good,
yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
There were only a few bad apples in the bunch, but that's how it is with everything, isn't
Mrs.
it?
fucking Spock.
Oh, so is that your Royal Flush done? The Flush app.
Yes,
Find your
download
nearest
it, everyone.
toilet.
I'm going to download it now and have a look at it today. But what a good lifesaver
Yeah.
in those times where you really need to go.
I will say though, although that's amazing, if it does happen to me where I go, oh shit, I need a bathroom, I just open Google Maps and say, search this area for a bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And then they all pop up anyway. So you don't need the app, but I do think it's a really good idea and there'd be a lot of people who...
Look, I've just downloaded it. Look at how many toilets there are.
Shit, that's crazy.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Look, there's one right near us, actually.
Well, it might be the one
Sydney
in the building.
Fish Market.
Oh, okay, nice. So does it show you the toilets in Nova? Or is it only public toilets? Okay, fair enough. All right, we ready for my royal flush then?
Yeah.
So my royal flush of the week comes from, and I always feel a bit like weird about putting people on this podcast as a royal flush who have no followers. I am unsure if I should be saying their name and giving them a shout out to credit them for the content, or whether they would not like, some people just post TikToks like just because they just want to post TikToks for their friends.
But surely they know that it's going to blow up at some
Well,
point.
this person has 210 followers, not really a content creator by the looks of it, but posted a video and it got 66k views, and I saw it and it spoke to me. So I guess I'm going to give her a shout out. Her name is Lucy Coogan, I think her last name is. I think that's how you pronounce that. She posted a TikTok of her walking through the city of Brisbane. And it says, the caption on it says, "The fear I feel every time I step outside in Brisbane CBD that I'm going to run into one of those people who make those videos that say, 'What do you do and how much do you make?'" Have you seen those videos online? If you haven't seen them, it's like a girl in the street with a microphone and she just goes up to random people and she's like, "What do you do and how much do you make?" And people are like, "Oh, I work in this and I make this much a year or this much a week," and blah, 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 blah. And people do them all over every city, but that one was Brisbane specific. But every time I'm in the Sydney CBD, I genuinely, out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, where are they? Where are they? And I'll tell you why, because this is a High Scrollers exclusive. And I have a plan. If I do ever run into one of these people in the street, and I want your help with this, Brittney, as to what number you think I should go with that would be like realistic enough. But I would love to be interviewed by one of those people and just make shit up.
Just lie.
Just make shit up to send the internet into a spin. So they go, "What do you do and how much do you make?" I'd go, I'm an influencer and I make probably like $6 million a year. Like, which is obviously so fucking wrong, but just like act like it's the most true thing ever. And if they're like, "Wow," because they always follow it up as well with questions. "Wow, what's the biggest brand deal you've ever done?" I had to post an Instagram story and I think I got I got $1 million, but then my management had to take 10%. So I think I ended up with only 900k. And just talk like that and just make it all up and just watch the internet go into a fuck. Imagine the Daily Mail articles. Imagine the Channel 7 News articles.
I reckon they should purposefully reach out to some influencers who are willing to lie to get that viral video.
But I'm going to do that if I ever get asked, and only the scrollers will be in on the joke.
Well, I reckon we should contact them and say, "We've got this idea for a viral video. Matt is willing to lie about how much he makes. Do you guys want to collab?"
So true.
Let's just do it.
What's been your biggest month? This month was kind of slow. Only made about 150k this month, but some months, I'll make $1 million. I don't know. It really depends. Just act so
you have
nonchalant
to talk,
about
you
it.
You have to be so neutral.
Yeah.
Slay.
And I would just love to watch the internet melt the fuck down. I think I'm gonna become a troll. I think that's I think that's a 2026 era though. Troll. All right, hey, troll. And I just, because I did test the waters, here's the thing for you. I was like, okay, so, on TikTok, I made that guacamole recipe.
No.
Did you see that video? I made a guac. I started the video saying, I'm going to show you how to make the best guacamole ever. Okay, this is a Scrollers exclusive as well. I planned to follow this video up, but then never did it because I just got so busy. And then now I've been around the country with Kylie Minogue. But I did this video. I went, I'm going to show you how to make the best guacamole ever. I then made the most basic ass guacamole with literally just avocado, tomato, onion, and salt and pepper. And then I blitzed it so much that it wasn't even a thick guacamole. It was like a avocado puree.
Is this recently?
Yeah. Posted it and went, oh, can't wait to see how this turns out. which I do often. I sometimes do a cheeky shit post just to like see how the
Yeah.
internet reacts. And then anyway, I was waiting for everyone's reactions. So of course at the start, it went exactly as I planned. At the start, everyone's going, "This looks delicious. I'm so trying this. This looks amazing. And then it took about a week till someone went, "This is literally just guacamole with like nothing in it." Then it took a few more days for people to start going, "You should have added this. You should have added that. It wouldn't be guacamole unless you added
What
this."
video is it?
Keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down.
There?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to make the best guacamole ever.
Yeah. And I'm going, oh, every time I make this at the parties, everyone raves about it. Like, just fucking, because I do love it. And that genuinely is the guacamole that I make. And I was making it to enjoy for myself at that point. And
I love guacamole,
I'm going to film
can I
this
just say?
because it is the most basic guacamole, like the most basic guacamole in the world. But I was like, oh, I'm going to make out like this is life-changing and see how the internet reacts. And then it went exactly as I thought. And
Is it a whole tomato? Did you put a whole tomato in there just then?
Yeah.
A whole tomato?
Why not?
A whole onion?
Why not?
Matt, you put a whole onion in it?
Why not? Get your vegetables in, you know what I mean?
Stop, I'm actually watching you do it.
Yeah. And then I blitz it. Watch me blitz it. It goes into like an avocado puree. Anyway, now, 4 weeks later, now the internet is like, this is fucked. And they're like, what an abomination. And this is the most fucked avocado guacamole I've ever seen. And I'm like, it's just funny, the roller coaster ride that the comment section has been on. Anyway, I planned to follow that video up being like, haha, I trolled you all. Like, I purposely made the most bland guacamole ever in the hopes that, like, you know, it would be hilarious and just to see the reaction.
It does look good, although it looks a bit brown.
But I never did in the end doing that follow-up video, so you've got a little exclusive. It's like I've said before, that video that went viral about the noise in your roof in the apartment. I've told that story, right, on the podcast?
Yeah.
And if you can't remember or haven't heard that, I made this video that was like, does this happen to anyone else? But I knew full well that it happened to everyone else because every apartment I've lived in my life, the same sound happens, which it sounds like someone upstairs drops a marble on the floor and then it rolls to the other side of the apartment. Or like it sounds like they've dropped a coin and the coin's rolling to the other side of the apartment. So that kept happening in all the apartments I lived in. And so I made a video being like, I don't know if it's just me, but does this happen to anyone else? But I was like, I know full well this happens to everyone in every
What did
apartment
it end up being,
ever.
the aircon?
Yeah, something in the pipes, like something in the gas pipes or something,
yeah.
like a bubble travelling from one end to the other. But I don't know, the jury's still out on all of that. Anyway, stay tuned for my interview with one of those apps. It's always an app, isn't it? They're like, how much
are
money
they
do you
like
make? And then-
a hiring app? Like I think it is. The guy that does them, I think they're a job app.
Yeah, right. Stay tuned for me trolling the internet by saying I'm a multi-millionaire influencer that makes 150k. Do you reckon 150k is like, I want it to be achievable? I thought 6 million a year. That's 500k a month.
That's a lot.
That is a month. Do you reckon that's not believable? Should I go 150k a month? And so then times that by 12 is $1.8 million. See, that's a bit more realistic, right? Like, I think 6 million people would go, fuck off, he's lying. But 1.8 million,
It's
I think
believable,
they could justify, like, I think people might, okay.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, hopefully if I run into them, so hopefully it goes well. Hopefully I don't get cancelled because everybody's getting cancelled right now. Hello? What's going on in Australia? Have you not noticed? I'm feeling very left out, actually.
Who's cancelled? Michaela? Not Michaela, Anna Paul.
Well, we had Anna Paul. We had that Jack Mac guy. All the bloke podcasts.
Oh, the people off maths.
Now we've got Blue-Eyed
Adrian.
Kayla Jades even, which
Yeah,
I
and
thought the internet loved her. And
Adrian
now
from maths.
Adrian from maths.
But
Oh,
they're not-
the Jasmine Eats girl.
Oh yeah, but
Everyone's
like
getting
no
cancelled.
one's really cancelled.
Well, I reckon Colleen Ballinger hasn't come back from her cancellation.
True.
I always say, though, if James Charles can survive, anyone can. Sorry. I think if James Charles still has a career, I think I'll be fine, you know? Who else has gotten cancelled? Drake's getting cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has gotten cancelled? I feel like everybody but us is getting cancelled. You don't have any news for us, Hannah, do you? When's our contract up? I'm getting worried. Feeling very left out.
Yeah, well, look out, Matt, because you're next.
I can't wait.
Oh,
honestly.
but by the way, before we wrap up the episode, do you have a rant of the week about anything?
No, I don't. Because my life has been so good lately.
Okay, no rant of the week.
And we're going to tell you all about it in Close Friends. And don't forget, come back on Friday. You're getting full BTS, Kylie Minogue. There's some exciting things I haven't shared on the internet at the time of recording, at least, about what happened during the concerts. Brittney has a lot of thoughts as well.
I do.
Who wants to share about the whole thing. And we'll get to that on Friday. But for now...
That's another episode done and dusted.
Yeah, it is. You know what to do. Rate us 5 stars, turn on notifications. But I think we have the most dedicated listeners on the interwebs because we've seen the data and you all tune in every single week and almost straight away, immediately. So we love that. I feel like everyone has our notifications on. But of course, you know, we upload every Tuesday and Friday here. And apart from that, anyway, Del, better let you go. Gotta go jump in the pool with a pad on.